welcome, podcast listeners. You are here with your host. It is Mr. BudgetPedalChap. That is me. Woo! You are joined also by, oh my gosh, it is Josh.
Yeah, one fam.
I mean, why not? Yeah, like last week we had a super special Lee Harris edition where we got to talk about all of the famous people and like proper, actual, real musicians doing proper, actual, real musician shit. So, like, if you
want stuff that we don't do,
yeah, if you want a complete U-turn from the usual podcast, go check that one out. It's really good, actually. I listened to it. I think I listened to it yesterday. It was really cool. Lee's an absolute gent. So, yeah, check it out. And there's also some bonus stuff on the Patreon. If you are not a Patreon subscriber, now is the time. Hot off the press, you get yourself some extra exclusive bonus stuff. But this sounds like way too much like an actual podcast that I've thought about. So let's wind it back a bit here. Let's wind it back and get right back into the Fret Talk groove. Oh, how are you, my man?
Not so bad. How are things with you, my friend?
Yeah. Just kind of ticking along.
Aren't we all?
We've lost our drummer. Oh, which is a shame. He's a legend. We've had to do a few stand-ins, like recent gigs, because he's been like double booked with other things, and it's just got to a point where he's gone, you know what? I'm letting you down more than I'm being reliable, so I'm just going to bow out here, and it's an absolute shame because he's a real ledge. So. Pour one out to the homie. And actually, our last gig, my good buddy and Patreon backer, Mr. Adam Yeomans, came along and came and saw the band.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. So
it would have been pretty sucky if he would have made that effort to come along, and then it's just like, nah.
Yeah, turned up and he was like, you probably do better here, mate. Yeah, because me and him used to be in a band way back in the day, and we wrote some absolutely wicked material. But this kind of covers outfit. It was like, you know what, you guys are really tight. You got it. You got the thing down there. So I was happy with that. Like it's praise from a dude who I used to like. I cut my teeth, doing the rounds with him. So it's an absolute pleasure, and it's just really touching.
Shows how much you've progressed.
Yeah, and it's really nice when your mates come and make the effort as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But hey ho, what you been up to anyway, Josh? What you've got some
gigging.
Yes,
it's been non-stop gigs at the moment. We was down last weekend down in Horsham, down in South Kent.
Nice.
Which was
that's quite a troll then, that isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good three or so hours there and 3 or so hours back. Especially on funeral weekend, the M25 turned into a car park, which is always fun. But had a really good gig down there. We've already had an offer to go back next year, so
that's wicked.
Doing that. And it gave us a chance to try our new full in-ear sort of rig, where essentially we are all running into a Behringer mixer. Then there's splitter, cable, wizardry, and magic. In order so we can all have control via apps on our phones of what we have in our own ears.
Oh, that's wicked! So you've got your own bespoke monitor mix.
Yeah, and so regardless of whatever the sound engineers do, because sound engineers, you can either love them or you can hate them. Let's be totally honest.
Yeah, they're not always sound engineers, are
they? Yeah. No matter what he does, we still get the same sound, because what we do is we have our sound that goes into the mixer, and then there's a 16 splitter cable, splitter snake, whatever you want to call it, that the sound guy takes
Yeah.
of all the individual instruments, and then obviously he can then do whatever.
Yeah, he has his mix, but you've all got your individual mixes as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool.
So that obviously, like, we just then, when we're in sound check, we bring up whatever we need to on the phone. Like, if I want more of my guitars, I can. If I want less of Joe, I can. If I just want me and nobody else, I can. And you just edit it all on your phone. And it automatically then pre-saves it.
You know what? We are living in a really, really interesting time, aren't we? That's the future right there.
It was our first time trying it. We tried it in rehearsals the week prior, just to, get it all working. It's like, right, is this actually going to work? And we did a quiet rehearsal.
Yeah.
And it was genuinely brilliant.
Nice.
And it's definitely going to be a system now going forward, because it was just so much better having complete control over everything in your sound.
Yeah.
And all I did was, just on the top of the wedge that's kind of by the drummer, I just left my tablet, up on display in case I needed to change anything. During the set, I could just, slide up a level or whatever. But it was really, really good, and it was really good to try it. It's a good gig. People seem to enjoy it, and next one is...
I saw some stuff that you posted up, actually. You posted up some videos, and they sounded really good.
Yeah, Lisa's a fucking great singer. We've had a lot of compliments about her and her vocal range.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I think to have a band that is, with a female singer, if you have the wrong singer, they can all just sound the same.
With
problem.
You can get like generic singers across the board, can't you? Like all the pub singers doing the try to find the note.
That's me if I sing. But we've had a lot of good compliments. And next gig is up in Wigan.
Wigan, oh nice. The home of Northern Soul, that is.
Yeah. And I filmed a video for Pedalboards of Doom, which has not been released yet.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be coming out soon, won't it?
Yes,
hopefully. Got the editors on the job. On the job.
Which I think is going to be a very useful video for pretty much anybody in the guitar community.
Interesting. I'm not even privy to this one yet, so I'm looking forward to hearing this one out.
It's something that we touched upon when you was over, when we was doing some filming. Now this is a month ago or so we've all had a few drinks since then, so we're probably somewhat forgetful.
Yeah. It's got to be over a month now, isn't it?
Yes, but it will be a very good video for everybody. That's for sure.
I can't wait for it, man. Can't wait for it. Right. I reckon it's about time that we head into the podcast proper, and we do it the way that we usually do. We start off with a hot take. We start off with wrapping up the previous hot take, and this has been 2 weeks in the making, and it's left a little bit of a controversy here. So just to remind you, the hot take that we had was reverse headstocks make the most ergonomic sense. And
you couldn't call it more down the middle if we tried.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard-fought battle, and no side gained any ground. It was a split straight down the middle, 50-50. Josh's yay versus Matt's nay. I think Matt's was slightly stronger than nay, but it was, yeah. So
we're not allowed to use the words that he said on the podcast.
Indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that open for... I mean, it's going to stay on the Fret Talk podcast group anyway, but we're going to pop into it like maybe next week or the week after and see if the scale has shifted. And if it shifts, then we will call the result then. Because at the moment, It's 50-50. It's a hung parliament. It is a stalemate. There is nothing that we can do. But we have got a spicy one this week, haven't we?
Other than vote in the way of common sense and follow my word.
I mean, if you want to vote for Josh's opinion, you can go for that. If you want to vote for Matt's, you can go for that. Currently, if you're abstaining a vote, then that's the reason why we're in this situation. Damn it!
Yeah, don't be one of those people that complains about a certain political party getting into power if you didn't vote.
That's it. Yeah, this is an allegory for the political climate. This is. Oh dear. Right, so we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna go for this as so we've got a hot take which kind of ties in with the news discussion kind of thing. We're gonna go with the Rick Beato signature Les Paul. Well, it's not a Les Paul. It's like a Les Paul special 2P90s. Interesting guitar, but. Should only touring acts get signature gear? Well, because this is a hot take, it's going to have to be a statement. Only touring acts should get signature gear. There we go. That is a statement, isn't it?
It is, and it's a wrong statement.
I mean, you can. Okay, let's elaborate on that. What you're saying?
So, I would, if we were talking in a sense of back in, kind of like the 70s, 80s, 90s, if you was an established musician, it was from touring, album cycles and whatever business, that the music, the music community had at the time. But now that game is, especially since YouTube and all that kind of
like the social media.
I think it's kind of become to the point now where the social media game has changed the way that the music industry works, and I think now that there's probably people now that are, let's be honest, more popular due to having a social media presence, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Instagram or Facebook and anything like that. That holds its weight now, I think, more than album sales or, touring cycles. I think having that social media presence now is more important.
Yes.
And I've noticed I've had a few conversations with brands talking, about, artist, deals and things like that. I'm not going to divulge who I've been, in conversations with. Yeah. People know me. You probably, you will probably have some ideas. And they've all come to the same point of saying, you just, this is not enough of that social media following in order to kind of justify having somebody behind, it's a brand behind you. And especially with Rick Beato, what he doesn't know about music isn't worth knowing.
In terms of his socials, if you just look at the social, like the analytics for the socials, he pulls in the numbers.
Massively.
He definitely pulls in the numbers. He's one of the biggest names in the guitar space, just as a whole, really.
Yeah, I first found Rick from like What Makes This Song Great and some of the top 10 videos that he does. Now, YouTubers doing sort of all these generic top 10 videos is a completely different matter, but that's kind of what brings in the success on YouTube. And part of that success that he has with that is the fact that, again, like I was saying, how much he actually knows about music, artists, production, theory knowledge. And people are going to see him, and people are going to see that he's kind of worked with Gibson on a signature model, and he's going to, regardless of who you are, you carry the name Gibson with you, it it shows that you're not somebody that's just a nobody, so to speak.
Yeah, I think the social media backing really is like it's a big push these days. Like they say, touring musicians get most of their money on the merch rather than the actual tour
Yeah,
these days. Um, and like the popularity of guitar, you find like people who've transitioned from like social media to become touring acts as well. Like the guy from Eurovision, Sam Ryder, was it?
Sam Ryder. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a big TikTok star, and that then propelled him to go on to do the Eurovision, and now he's everywhere. And I think I don't know too much about them, but I think Polyphia did things like that as
Tim
well,
Henson.
where they were doing like YouTube stuff, and then because of that, it's propelled them into becoming like an actual touring act.
Yeah, and you can definitely see now that merch. Everybody wants to have the latest sort of band merch and anything that's representative of a band that people enjoy. For me, for example, I've got like a drawer full of Rammstein shirts. In it's horrendously overkill. I'm not going to lie, but um, people want to represent, be able to represent something in some way, as somebody that they follow.
Yeah.
And I think with, say with Rick Beato, say if you're one of, his loyal followers, for example, you're going to be like, oh, I want to be able to support him even more. I know what I'll do. I'll buy his signature Gibson or whatever.
Like a really
And
cool thing about his signature, which I learned actually after posting this on social media myself, is that a portion of the proceeds of his stuff go onto like education funding of like the arts within America, and I just thought that's just wholesome.
I think it's understanding to say why touring musicians should only be the ones to get signature guitars, but I feel like that's relevant to something maybe like 15 or 20 years ago. And
Yeah.
I think now it's definitely more important to see, say like Matt Heafy, he probably makes more now of doing social media stuff with Twitch than he probably does with even making money from Trivium.
I didn't know
Or
that he did social media stuff, I'll be honest. I
yeah,
know
he
Herman Lee's
was one
jumped
of the
on it.
first big Twitch streamers.
Was he? Oh, wow. What's he
And
do?
kind of
Please say he plays
he does.
Minecraft.
No, he plays various games, but he also does like once a week he'll do like music streams and like playing through of like a
Some of the
Trivium
Trivium tracks, yeah.
set list or any other bits and pieces.
Oh, that's wicked.
And then a lot of people wanted to follow down that avenue because of him.
Yeah, like more recently, you've got Justin Hawkins doing like he does like commentary on like music that people ask him to. So like be it modern music or music that they either like or dislike.
I think that's just the way the internet's going now. Is that having that social media presence kind of outweighs your sales in a way.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line, isn't it? If it's whoever can like push the units for the company. It's a business decision, and can Rick Beato's name sell more guitars than I don't know who's in the pop charts at the moment? Sound like such an old fucking man.
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
but that's it, isn't it? I mean, like say for example, who's going to shift more units? Is it going to be like Rick Beato, who's got like millions of subscribers on YouTube, or is it someone like say Guthrie Govan, who is out there like playing the music and is doing like those sessions and whatnot. Both of them have signature instruments, but who's going to be the one who sells them more? And you're probably talking Beato, aren't you? 'Cause he's
Yeah.
got, and I think his demographic as well. They're an older demographic. The ones who've got a bit more,
a bit of money.
Yeah, a bit more kind of disposable income, and aren't really going to bat too much of an eyelid at dropping, because I think it's like 1,500. I think something like that.
I think. Let me just have a quick look, and just have a quick Google and find out.
Yeah,
I think it's about 1,500.
Yeah, I mean, for a special, that's quite a lot of money. But in terms of guitars, that's kind of, it's almost the mid range these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a relative. Yeah, okay, so yeah, PMT, 1,593.
So there you go. So we're talking, it's probably going to be the same in dollars as well, isn't it? Kind of 1,500 ish.
Which is, like you say, is the kind of about money that you would pay for a sort of signature guitar. I think the only sort of bands now that kind of get the notoriety for warranting a signature guitar purely from touring alone is like Metallica. Big bands like that don't have a social media presence really in terms of.
I bet they probably will. It's not going to, but the social media will be like pictures of them on tour rather than them creating like actual content for. Yeah, I get you what you mean. And that's a really good place actually to segue. But before we do, we're going to remind our listeners that this will go out as a poll in the Fret Talk podcast group. So make sure you vote on it. If you think that only touring musicians or only like quote unquote musicians should be getting signature gear, then vote a yes or a no. If you think it's more of a social media thing, you need to vote that no. But the poll will be in the Fret Talk podcast group, possibly when this episode comes out. If I remember to do it, we'll find out. Who knows? So yeah, we were talking then. This is going to be our discussion section. We're talking about Metallica and their signature guitars. We know that our Kirk has acquired not so long back the Greeny Moore Les Paul,
which is probably one of the most famous guitars in the world.
Oh yeah. It's what it was with Peter Green and with Gary Moore. Like the prestige behind that is undeniable. So we've got Gibson Custom Shop are talking about doing a very, very limited run of 50 with real, actual rosewood boards, so that they're going to be CITES restricted, which means that they will be America only. There is no price come out yet.
I have a feeling this is going to be expensive.
Oh, absolutely no doubt. No doubts whatsoever. I've put my chips down and have said this is probably going to be a 20k guitar.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be that kind of astronomical price, because it's going to be 50s.
If the tall Adam Jones Les Paul was 10?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're talking like standard custom runs are getting up into that like double £1,000 figures. So I'm putting the chips down here, and I'm saying 20,000 is perhaps even on the conservative side. We might even be talking like 25. Who knows? But we'll find out that. The question around this is, who is this guitar for? Because like Metallica fans require a certain sound, don't they?
Yes.
They require an EMG, a Floyd Rose, something very fast playing, something very modern. I say modern sounding, sounds like the 80s, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Greenie Moore Les Paul is like Alnico 2 magnets. It's really, really low output. Very, very kind of touch responsive, dynamic, blues orientated Les Paul. And
Well, I think having seen Metallica a few times and seen this guitar up in person,
yeah,
it only gets used in songs like Fade to Black, Nothing Else Matters,
yeah,
the slow style, more ballad ones. So I think that's where people are going to be kind of like, they're going to go, oh, I want this because it's one of the most famous guitar, blah, 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 blah. And it's
yeah.
just like, if you're wanting to play Master of Puppets on it,
Yeah, it definitely ain't for those guys. Is it? It's not for the guys who want to just thrash out some Metallica riffs. It, but like I'd say they're gonna sell out because it's based on what, like you say, one of the most historic examples of a Les Paul, considered almost universally as like the standard to hit.
yeah. And there's numerous brands that have done their own tributes.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
And like Gibson in the past have done Greenie Moores as well. They've done like collector's choice Greenie Moores. So look, it's a rehash, but the market is there. The market, like, it's these blues lawyers, blues dentists who are looking for that next collector's piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to be case queens, a lot of them.
Yeah, they're going to be the sort of guitars where I can tell you now that people are going to say, just stick, so a 20 grand loan, for example, to buy it, and
Yeah.
they'll happily pay it off for £100 a month or
And
whatever
that'll take
business.
years. Fuck me. Yeah.
But they know that they'll in 10 years' time it'll be worth double what they paid for it.
Oh yeah, like it's like the investment of it. You are going to get your money back on this because there's no way
And the
that they're
rest.
going down. The exclusivity of it and what it's based on it's just too good not to.
I mean, in retrospect, like the RZK guitars that I've got, I've had offers for my silver one like 4
Yeah.
times the value of what I paid for it.
Nice.
But if you're, say if you're a proper Metallica fan and you've bought the Greenie Les Paul, a proper fan won't sell it. They'll keep it.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think I don't think there's got to be many big Metallica fans who are going for it.
No.
You might get the one or two. I think you might get quite a few collectors who are thinking, this is a rare piece of history. We're going to keep this. Yeah, and those people who are looking just to flip it in the future because they know it's a nice sound investment. But we'll see. Like, I almost guarantee as soon as these go up for like pre-order, they will be sold out. I can almost guarantee that.
I mean, look how quickly the Adam Jones ones sold out. You can't even get hold of any of them now, and I think they sold out within the first day. I mean,
Yeah.
and if let's be fair, if the Adam Jones ones sold out that quickly, these are going to sell out even way before that.
Yeah, yeah. Not to shit on Adam Jones at all, but he ain't anywhere near as famous as the Greenie Moore Les Paul.
Yeah, everybody likes the Adam Jones one because it's a Silverburst custom.
Yeah, yeah.
People like
different.
it because it's not a common color, essentially. That's why people like it. They don't necessarily like it for Adam Jones. They like it just because of how it looks.
Yeah, and again, because it's that exclusivity.
The thing is, as well, I think what people forget about, I mean, Kirk's one's based on the 57, the Greenie one, I think is a 57. And that for Gibson's was actually a horrendous year. the Gibsons, because there were so many models that were hit and miss. There was absolute dog shit models, and then you've got ones that are just the creme de la creme.
Yeah, and I think it like back then it was because they were mostly being made by hand. It was a case of you could get 5 guitars out of the factory and none of them play anywhere near each other. And you might get 1 or 2 of them that are good, and then the others that are rubbish. But it is that like all of the bad ones have been kind of butchered and have found their demise. But the good ones have been kept hold of and played and played and played. And you see you see those ones, they're battered to fuck because like people have wanted to take them out and play them.
It all depends on whether you had Manuel or Juan that was working on the gear line that day.
I don't think back then it was. I think it was slightly more American, like the production lines. I don't know.
Keith and Steve.
That's it. But yeah,
I mean, if I won the lot, if I had the money, would I buy one?
I'd have to have a good chunk of change to consider it. Because if tomorrow I suddenly got 25k, I wouldn't go. The first thing I'd go. Oh, I'll just buy a guitar. I mean, number one, my missus would absolutely have my balls for that, and fair play to her because like there's so much we could do with 25k.
If I had 20 grand for a guitar, I don't think I'd buy that.
No, exactly. Like if for whatever reason the fairy godmother came up and gave me like a chunk of like a big old chunk of money, I might buy like a guitar worth $1,000, $2,000. Like I might treat myself to something quite extravagant, but I ain't dropping that kind of money on it.
No, I mean, if I was going to spend 20 grand on a guitar, I would literally, I would buy something like a 59 or a 60s Les Paul. One that was actually from
a legit old one, yeah.
Rather than let's basically an NOS.
yeah. It's pretending to be old. I'd probably go for a 70s SG. They've got this massive bridge system, and I just think they look wicked.
Oh, is that the ones that kind of like? Ironically, I think Beato has one where the bridge is like 16 yards further down than it should be, or something like that.
Possibly, I don't know. I've always looked at the 70s SGs and just thought they look wicked. And all of the red ones have like been dyed in the sun so that they're all now brown. They're all like a walnut finish. Like this used to be a cherry SG, and now it's this kind of horrible furniture looking motherfucker. I just love it. I absolutely love it. But there we go. Right, so we've got the MXR super badass dynamic overdrive. This.
Hello, OCD.
Yeah, so this came out like about 2 weeks after the announcement of Full Tone closing shop. So, is it an unofficial OCD? Can we confirm? And more importantly, is it too soon? Is this too soon to happen?
It's a genius piece of marketing.
I mean, they've got in quick, haven't they? Maybe they had this design already in the bag and they were just waiting for the moment.
No, I don't think anybody necessarily knew that OCD, Full Tone, we're basically going to turn over. I think that, if it's something that is completely of their, shall we say, of their own making, then I think they've probably been in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
it is kind of slightly suspicious.
It's ironic, isn't it, that it's come out at this exact point?
Yeah. That could have just been the way the cookie crumbles. But
Yeah, I mean, they could have already had it like a release date for it, and then oh my god, Full Tone have folded. What a coincidence!
Well, I had a discussion with somebody about this, ironically enough, about the OCD, and that if I remember rightly, it was about 3 or 4 years ago. There was a lot of people that I think were going around boycotting Full Tone because of something from somebody from somewhere in the company had said something, and they were like, "Oh, let's boycott all the OCDs" or something like that. Then it
Yeah,
all went hush hush. Then all of a sudden, like they're going for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of quid.
yeah. So
It,
there was things that surfaced about the customer service of Mr. Fuller being not so nice to customers. Like people had screenshotted emails, and then there was a bit of a boycott Full Tone thing go on, and then that died down a little bit. People forgot about it, and then the whole BLM movement during lockdown happened, and he'd put up some insensitive posts on his personal Facebook, which a lot of people who follow Full Tone also had like his personal Facebook on as well. And people took that as we ain't standing for this shit no more. Like kind of two strikes system.
yeah,
Which, yeah, like fair enough. It's not up to me to judge whether that's right or wrong, but that is the way that the cookie crumbled for that brand, and it's probably led to the demise of the if not like the biggest contributing factor, it has been a factor. But
you got to think of your fan base, to an extent.
yeah,
And prime example of this is like one of my tattooists when COVID came out and people were on about 5G, it's all linked to 5G, and the conspiracy theorists that I'm on about. And my
that we all know.
tattooist was posting it saying, "No, it's all government and blah 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 5G hocus pocus," and I'm just like, "What are you on, mate? What are you
Yeah,
smoking?"
have those like tattoo fumes got to your head over the years?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
there was a guy who I used to work with.
you don't mix business with lifestyle, I think is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way to word it.
yeah. Like it's putting those opinions out, isn't it? Like if you want your business to remain a business, you keep like
Anything personal out of it.
yeah, you keep your personal opinions out of it, unless that is your brand. Like the influencers, the social media guys, part of their brand is like selling that personality. So possibly for them, yeah. Like when Eric Clapton came out and was like a big anti-vaxxer, I think it's more understandable there because like part of him is that you follow his story as well as his music, isn't it? Um, and then he ended up doing a fucking anti-vax song about like with Van Morrison. What a dickhead! Uh, but yeah, like that's enough about that anyway. Like
And at the end of the day, if MXR have been able to cash in on an opportunity at the right time, then absolutely fair play to them to get to get it back onto topic.
yeah, yeah. I think like in terms of like the market though, I don't think anyone like prior to the shutting down of Full Tone, there's so many OCD inspired pedals anyway that is this really all that relevant? Probably not.
Yeah.
Like it's another overdrive pedal in a market where there's a lot of overdrive pedals. But speaking of drive pedals, the Big Muff. How can we make that? How can we drag that one into the 21st century? By turning it into an interface. That's how. Well, it's a bit more than that, isn't it? Actually, so
It's a plugin and an interface.
Yeah, well, it's called the hardware plugin, but it allows you to have presets built into the pedal, so you can have like settings within the Big Muff that you can switch between. But yeah, the big selling point of it, what it's saying, like the hardware plugin, is basically that it becomes an interface so that you can plug it directly into your digital audio workstation and record straight onto your computer through it. Is this where pedals are going in the future? Is this what's going to happen? So what's the upside of this, and what's the kind of the drawbacks of it?
Upside is most audio interfaces tend to look quite bland. This is the coolest looking interface I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, look,
and I want to buy it just for the fact that you've got a Big Muff pedal as the interface. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Like it's a Big Muff coloured, like Big Muff styled interface, which is kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know if you can go straight through and you can like switch the Big Muff off and just use it as a clean interface. I don't know if that's possible. I think
you should be able to, because it's got the bypass switch on it, so I imagine you can.
Yeah, but I don't know if switching that just turns your signal off. Who knows? But anyway, let's assume that you can.
Electro Harmonics, if you're listening, send us a message on PedalChap, and I'm willing to test this out for you.
Yeah, that's it. Look, I'll do an absolutely free demo on this if you want me to. Like, send one this way. So, is it the future? One of my Instagram people, I'm going to pull up exactly who it is, because this is an absolutely like this comment is absolutely spot on. It's just completely correct. They said on all guitar pedals hardware interfaces, as long as you plug them into a DAW. Oh, they didn't do it on Instagram. They did it on Facebook. I'll see if I can find it, because that person deserves a shout out. But like, it's a fair cop, isn't it? Like, I could plug any of my guitar pedals into like a Behringer interface you can get for like 25 quid. I could plug any of my guitar pedals into that Behringer interface and it works pretty much the same. It doesn't have the presets. Don't get me wrong, it's not got all the features. But 25 quid for a Behringer interface with, I think it's got like a Midas preamp as well, so it's not bad quality. It sounds pretty good. And I've got the luxury, the versatility of plugging any pedal in there. What say you?
But I think the fact that somebody, no offense to whoever said this, that you can plug any pedal in and it's an interface or whatever, is a plugin. What are you smoking?
Hang on.
The whole point.
There we go. Yeah. So it was John Boy. Guitar pedals are the guitar pedals for your DAW.
But that's a moronic thing to say. Say if you are if you're just on a train, for example, and you're fiddling with an album that you know, a track that you've done, you've got the DI. All you do is you boot up the plugin and you tweak it through there. You're not going to go, oh, hold on a second, let me just pull out my guitar pedal. Let me send the signal into that pedal, then let me send it back into the interface, so then I can It's called a plugin for a reason, because it's on your computer, so you don't have to take the pedal with you.
But the point is that you're using the pedal anyway. Like, you're using the Big Muff pedal as the interface anyway. So there's not much more steps. Like, the only extra step is you using an outboard interface rather than the interface built into the Big Muff. The big thing that strikes me on this one, how much does this one cost? Have you got a price up for this one? Because
I can get a price up.
Like, a regular Big Muff is what, 70 quid? Something like that. Like, the big box ones are somewhere in the 100 region. But it's not an expensive pedal because it's the 3 knob distortion fuzz kind of deal, isn't it? I think these.
So this is for the interface and the actual Big Muff pedal interface Doobery.
Yeah.
And the plugin is £329.
Yeah.
Now, my Scarlett 4i4 interface, which has 4 in, 4 out, was 300.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
this is going to be a 1 in, 1 out, isn't it? Because it's a guitar pedal. So this.
Well, no, it's got mono. It's got mono left and right. So
Okay, so we're
stereo.
talking like a Scarlett 2i2 then. Like the equivalent is about 150 quid, yeah?
Yeah.
So you could buy a Scarlett 2i2 and a Big Muff for less than this.
But then again, if you're somebody that does a lot of digital work and reamping stuff like that.
Yeah, this doesn't do reamping. This just does straight through. This like you've.
So it has got a bypass. It has got a bypass with inbuilt of it.
Cool, but this like the functionality isn't any different than having a big like a standalone Big Muff and an interface, or this Big Muff interface all in one package. You get the same ability using that.
But you're not going to be carrying a Big Muff around with you everywhere. Well, I know.
But you have to carry the Big Muff around if you want to use it as an interface anyway.
But it's electromagnetic. What have you done? Look what you started. But I think
we've got a future hot take, haven't we?
It's no different for me taking my normal interface round to my mate's house and going, let's plug into Neural DSP or whatever. It's exactly the same. It's just an interface.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like having the things as separate things, like a Big Muff and an interface, or a Big Muff and an interface integrated together, you get the same experience. You're getting no additional, like apart from having presets on it, which you don't need presets on a fucking Big Muff. Don't be stupid.
And to be honest, with any fuzz, you don't need presets. You need mats, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but you'll find your tone. You go, that's my tone for this pedal. Click, that's on. Click, that's off. Those are your options. But anyway, I think we've pontificated too much about this Big Muff pedal. We have talked more than I think it deserves. Right, let's bring it up. Let's bring it up to a bit more kind of light-hearted. Matt Bellamy, Signature Manson has like a new version of it's come out. It's like $1,000 and a bit, I think. The big feature of it, as always, is got an inbuilt integrated Chaos pad. They've been going for years.
I've always wanted one of these just for the inbuilt Chaos pad.
Yeah. I mean, the Chaos pad, I was intrigued to find that it's like the effects for the Chaos pad aren't built into that. The Chaos pad is basically like a glorified X and Y MIDI controller. So
it's essentially like an expression pedal, but as a pad.
Yeah. And you do it. So that then needs to be connected to something that makes the weird filter sounds, or that something that makes the weird like distortion modeling or whatever. So I mean, it's a lot more involved than you'd think. But the question is, what are the gadgets and upgrades that you secretly pine for? I mean, you've alluded to the fact that you kind of want a Chaos pad.
Yeah, but it's like I would get that. There's that. There's an Ibanez one for about 250 quid. That
I think.
Got one in.
Yeah,
I think that's about realistically the amount I would spend on it. It would literally be for dicking about.
Yeah, it was like an inbuilt like mini Chaos pad, weren't it?
If I was actually, having something, inbuilt into a guitar, so to speak, or I would love to have a Sustainiac. Because to be
My
honest,
man.
I don't use a neck pickup really anyway. I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I switched to a neck pickup in the last year.
But with
I
the
genuinely
Sustainiacs,
don't
you can
use it
still use
much.
the neck pickup because they've got a pickup built in,
Yeah,
and
and
then
you
if
got
you
like
switch,
the actual.
yeah, and then it's got
Um,
the kind of bar thing. But if you switch the sustainer on, it just switches to the other pickup, and the sustainer becomes the pickup, like the sustainer pickup. Then, so
yeah,
you've got the option of both.
what I would like to add into a guitar now, I feel like this is where like people are gonna go, under their breath.
Go on.
I would really like to put an octave fuzz into a guitar's circuitry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, crazy shit like that happened in the 70s. They were looking at like building in effects into guitars, weren't they?
Yeah, like I love octave fuzzes, and I'd love to be able to have like, say, for example, I love the Honey Badger. So I'd love to be able to take that exact setting that I use and then just have it like, like the Sustainiacs have like the little metal, like a dip switch or whatever,
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
toggle
tiny little
switch.
toggle
And
switches,
then
yeah.
like literally just have that to bring onto the guitar. I think that would be a really cool feature.
I mean, Gibson did something not too dissimilar, didn't they? They had like the burst driver or something like that, where it was they had basically inbuilt a tube screamer into the Les Paul, and it had the controls on little like mini knobs that were on the back of the control plate. You just had like a little flick switch or something. I think it was actually built into one of the push pull pots, and you'd
uh,
engage this drive circuit.
I'm trying to think what else I would actually like to have inbuilt into a guitar,
Yeah,
or a chaos. Is again like a chaos pad or whatever would be fun. Um,
I mean,
I think most of the things like when you start to look at things like this are more for letting your hair down rather than
yeah,
actually being as of any fucking use.
yeah. Like it's not your day to day. I mean, I always had the impression that I wanted a guitar that did everything, and then I got a guitar that did everything. Like I've got a Protone Squire Telly, which has got a neck humbucker and a bridge. Like it's a tappable bridge, like an overpowered telly pickup. So you can go from like regular telly to like overpowered telly, and then you've got neck and then single coil. You've got in and out of phase as well. So it's got all of these like little switches on it that gives you all of these crazy sounds. And I found myself using like two or three of the sounds. So I kind of talked to myself out of some of this stuff. I would really like to play a talk box. I've never used one, and I'd really want to play one because I think
I'd like to try it.
yeah, it'd be really cool. And again, like the Sustainer, I think like I don't think I'd ever really use it all that much. I think it would become an inconvenience because you got to like make sure the battery's charged, or like because it's 9 volts with them, isn't it? So you've got to make sure that you've
Yeah.
got a battery always on hand. Like like
I'd like a guitar with a flamethrower, like Rammstein style.
I mean, there we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, yeah. Just like
But
I don't know. Like
that's
I want like a dispenser at the end of the headstock that does like party poppers.
I say one of the best things I've ever seen, like as a guitar. I guess this is kind of like a finish. Was John 5 has he loves his Telecaster,
He
and
does
he's
indeed.
got a Telecaster which he had the body carved out, and he's got LED lights
Oh,
on it,
nice.
and when he flicks the switch, the LEDs come on. Um, and I believe that they actually change color in time with the music.
Oh, like the sound sensitive.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is fucking awesome. That
My
I would love.
I had a friend who was like a heavy into just fucking about with guitars. And he ended up installing LED lights in the fretboard of his guitar. Like he bought this kind of like cheap beta version of his like main gigging guitar, which was a Lag Arcane, which is basically like a Super Strat, but like a French custom shop Super Strat kind of thing.
Did he just give up anytime he's seen anybody in a white shirt?
And no. But like it was a really, genuinely really good guitar. But like they did a cheaper model. They did like an Indonesian made one, and he bought one of them and like meticulously like stripped the fretboard off of the guitar to install these LED lights into the fretboard for the fret markers.
That's cool.
And yeah, he got it working, but like then it started getting electrical problems, and he was just like, "My God, I don't have the patience to strip it all back again to then like find out where the issue was." But for that brief moment, he had like a little flick switch that would allow him like a light up fretboard.
I know Devin Townsend's got them built into his some of his Framus models, and like he's got like a circle that lights up around the 12th fret in like
That's pretty cool.
A rainbow colour. And he did, although on the subject of Devin Townsend, he had a V for I can't remember the name of it. He had some weird name, as Devin's stuff always does. And he had it made. I think it was just for the Royal Albert Hall show he'd done a fair few years back.
Yeah,
and it was during a song called March of the Boozers. And he literally goes, "All right, I'm going to do a really heavy metal thing right here." And he presses a button on the guitar, and then smoke starts coming out of the guitar. It had a smoke machine built into the guitar.
Nice.
And I'm like, that is fucking awesome.
I mean, it's a bit like the Ace Frehley triple pickup Les Paul, where he'd flick a switch on it and then the middle pickup would start glowing and emit smoke from it. I bet that was like, rather than like safe like vapor smoke, this was probably like a firework inside of Les Paul.
A little cherry bomb or whatever.
Yeah, like back in the day where like health and safety weren't really a thing. It was just a
common sense was.
Yeah. If you flick this switch, you're basically gonna set off a fire alarm in your guitar. Don't worry about it. Just don't get too near the bright flame. Okay, cool.
Just make sure you haven't got your hand hovering over the middle pickup as you turn it on.
That's it. Yeah. Just put the things that make you all of this money near the thing that's on fire. Just do that once a night, please. Oh, just but it worked, and that's how Kiss's stage show. That was like one of the many gimmicks that made Kiss's stage show like amazing. We've got one last little bit of discussion for this week, and then we're going to wrap it because we're coming up to the hour mark. Anyway, we've got the Fender Aerodyne series, so like the Aerodyne Strats, Tellys, and there's a bass, but who knows which one of those it is. It made me start thinking. These things are basswood bodies, and they cost around the £1,000 mark. They are Japanese-made instruments. They are of high quality. Yeah, they kind of got a bit of a Shah Valley look, haven't they?
I'm just looking at them now because I must admit I didn't know much about these. That silver with a maple neck is nice. Yeah,
the Aerodyne series have been going for quite some years, and they're basically like a modern take on that instrument, like a modern telly, a modern Strat.
Now,
because we've got like flatter fretboards
already.
Go on.
It looks like a cheap guitar. It looks like a very cheap sort of like Squire, sort of just a bog standard starter guitar. It doesn't look expensive.
Yeah, it doesn't look premium enough. My issue was,
for the price that you're paying, you're getting Fender locking tuners. You're getting a gig bag.
Yeah,
you're not getting much in the way of what you would expect for the price.
Well, like my big question here is, like, these things come with basswood bodies, and basswood tends to be
cheap.
Yeah, one of the cheaper. Like a lot of the Ibanez super strats use it. I think like even down to like the expensive gems, but you tend to find it on the cheaper side of the guitar spectrum because it is relatively easy wood to get hold of, and
it's basically chipboard.
Well, it's like basswood. It's tonally quite neutral. It doesn't leave as much an imprint on as like alder and ash and mahogany and those kind of quote unquote tone woods. But there's something in my mind that like associates basswood with this is going to be an affordable thing. Now these are coming in well over the grand mark. Should you ever be expecting basswood on a guitar that's over that threshold?
No.
Like even when it comes to like the top tier Ibanez stuff, like the RG Prestiges and the gems and stuff like that.
Again, like you say, well, whenever I hear basswood, however you want to pronounce it, I just think of cheap starter guitars. I don't think of high end quality.
Yeah.
£1,300 for a basswood guitar that looks cheap.
Yeah.
It's a no from me.
Right, and then we've got one final question with it here. All of these come as standard with 2-point trem systems. Or sorry, all of the Strats come standard with the 2-point trem systems. Should we retire the 6-screw saddle? Sorry, the 6-screw Strat bridge, because the 2-point trem system, for the most part, works. The 6-screw Strat trem system, you have to really work with them to get them somewhere near working.
Yeah, like if you're doing a little bit of light sort of, vibrato whammy bar work, that they can kind of.
You might get away with it once or twice.
Yeah,
you're not getting like a night's worth of whammy bar use on a 6-screw. Whereas the knife edge 2-point trem system, generally quite stable. More often than not, I've found they've been acceptable trem systems.
I mean, I must admit, I haven't used one. Like, I've been predominantly used to Floyd Roses, and the first kind of like.
I mean, Floyd Roses are
6.1 on my Stratton, but I don't whammy on it. So
yeah, is that on the Oh yeah, your Mexican Strat, is it?
Yeah, on my Stratocaster.
Yeah, and that's what I find with them. You deck them, you leave them alone, and they're fine. Like they're really good hardtails. Strat tremolo systems are like they work really well in that situation. But the moment you even put a whammy bar in or look at it funny, your guitar's out of tune.
It's like a Gibson and a Notorious G string. You just know you accept that you're going to have tuning problems.
Yeah. Like, why have they not fixed that already? Like, it's just need to get on it. Like, they know it's a problem. Why? But anyway, that's our podcast for the week. We've pontificated enough. We've moaned about the state of guitar. I think we've put
this is going to be the Boomer special episode, isn't it?
Put the world to rights. Yeah, maybe it will. But you know what? We've had fun. So we're going to extend a thank you to our listeners. You are amazing. We're going to extend an extra special thank you to our Patreon backers, because you are people who pay us to do this, which is just very nice of you. Was that your dog?
I'm amazed you could hear the dog downstairs.
Yeah, done a good on there. So For as little as $2 a month, you can be one of these Patreon backers. They are the coolest kids in town. We've got Mr. Andrew Bimson. We've got Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chev Tone Effects. We have got Mr. Doug Christ of 37 Effects, of Masters of the Cinematic Universe, of the Just Surprise Me podcast. Booyah. We have got Mr. Hugh G. Rection for yoing. We have got Mr. Ben Fletcher of the Fletcher Pickups podcast. No, it's not the Fletcher Pickups podcast. Maybe coming 2023. No, of Fletcher Pickups, a purveyor of absolutely fantastic pickups. Like the majority of my guitars are Fletcher Pickups. Take from that what you will. And we have got Mr. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast and the Second Button podcast, which I was listening to today, and it's still fantastic. I've not watched Seinfeld in a while, though. I might have to catch up. He also appears on the Just Surprise Me podcast sometimes. Check it out. If you want to catch me online, you find me at BudgetPedalChap. I am on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. YouTube is the home to the No Talk Tone series, which this week featured the Rusty Fuzz by TC. Indeed. Surprisingly, very good. I really, really liked it. I might have to throw a couple of quid to Mr. Bimson's way, because he really graciously has sent me through a couple of these pedals to demo, because he was making up a board and these didn't make it, so he sent me through some pedals and says demo have some fun with them, and when you finish just send them back. So I might have to see what he's saying with that Rusty Fuzz, because it's very good. I really liked it. Josh, where can we find you?
You can find me at the Corona Mortis on Instagram. You can find my band at Paramore GB on Instagram. And if you want to find my YouTube, you can find me on the Pedalboards of Doom YouTube channel and Josh Castle TCM, where I post covers and music and things.
Yeah, boy. Right. From myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. From Mr. Oh my gosh, it is Josh. It will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. Ta-da.
What is big, long, hard, and has cum in it?
Go on.
A cucumber.
Yes. We're having that.